Martin, lovely to meet you. Thanks very much for coming to talk
Nice
to
meet
us.
you, Judy.
Tell me a little bit about what your organisation does. What's its raison d'etre?
We exist to help our members, who are accounting firms, law firms, tax advisors, to do business internationally, to connect their clients around the world. We have other functions too. We help our members share information so they can become better at what they do, so their own businesses and their clients can thrive and succeed. And we also like to assist them to innovate. Part of that is sharing the ideas, but also bringing in new ideas from other directions so they can be at the forefront of their profession.
So Martin, you're clearly very purpose-driven, and I can see that you absolutely love what you do.
I do enjoy what I do. As we were saying, the process of our firms working together is they establish trust with their clients. That trust is very important to them. It's how they work, it's how they operate. So when they want to refer that client to another colleague around the world, they want to know that that's also going to be a trusted and respected relationship, that they will deliver the kind of personal service and attention to that client that they would or have been doing to build the trust themselves. So we like to create an environment where that's well supported, people know each other well and can better understand how they're going to look after each other.
What are the big issues, the big stories in your field right now? What are the kind of water cooler things that people are talking about?
Technology, as it is in so many other aspects of everybody's life, is of course right there. The profession is undergoing a really important change in technology. Different speeds in different parts of the world. Some places are really advanced, some are just adoption. But what's common throughout the whole of the profession, it seems to me, is the competition for talent. There are opportunities for people to move, and people increasingly are feel less constrained and tied to their company. They join and stay for life. They want to sample different aspects of living. So the competition for talent seems to resonate around the whole world at the moment.
How about technology and AI? Is that something that your members are thinking about?
It certainly is. Artificial intelligence, you can imagine, in the accountancy field, in the professional advisory field, is seen as an opportunity and a threat. Some people do see it as very threatening. There is the capacity for artificial intelligence to take over a substantial amount of the work that has been done in the past by accountants especially. But also in the legal profession, that's the case. Know that the lawyers are very concerned, or some lawyers are very concerned, that their expertise was developed by reading through meticulously documents, and now artificial intelligence can take that path. But the opportunity lies in moving away from that mundane work to the much more informed and interesting aspect of advisory services that come from it. So you use the machines to assist and create the space for the more work. I think the experience of humans has often been that we see machines coming as replacing people, but actually the experience is that it's taken away some of the more routine and unwelcome aspects of work and created new opportunities. And I think that you look at household appliances, how that has happened. People probably saw when the washing machine would come in, well, surely that'll make a lot of people dull because there won't be anything to fill their time. But of course, I don't think you'd find many people who work in home environments finding that they have lots of time on their hands these days, because machines have taken over. Quite the reverse. They're as much under pressure as ever to work.
What's the most important thing for you in terms of how you communicate to your members? How do you do that? Do you use, webinars, e-learning, films, video, newsletters? What works for you? We
do use all of those tools, and they're very important to keep the communication alive and real. But in person is fundamentally the most effective element of our communication. We can perhaps reduce some of the periodicity, how frequently we meet through those tools, but actually meeting in person is really important to our members, getting to know one another, knowing that person to whom you can refer work, and be able to share experiences. There's nothing quite like having met in person, no substitute for that. We do use online meetings, we do use communication tools, shared working platforms, but we will continue with the in-person component for as long as we reasonably can. But we are seeking to reduce our impact on the planet. We know flying people around the world, we're a global organisation, has its impact, and we want to reduce that. So we're integrating meetings whenever we can.
In terms of the content that you deliver, Do you find that there's some types of content that work really, really well? I don't know if it's storytelling or it's personal interviews, or what works, what engages people?
Storytelling is the best way, of course, of communicating, I think. We're all, as humans, used to the idea, we're all, probably in many cultures, brought up with the idea once upon a time, engaging us when we were children, or something similar, an expression or the equivalent in another culture. And we stay with that. We are attracted to reality, something that's not abstract, not too far away from our own experience, but we can hang on to it because, oh yes, I can relate to that. I can see how that affects me, how it affects the people I work with. So storytelling is a very important way of sharing experiences.
Have you had a successful campaign, I'm thinking communications-wise, that you think really worked for you, and why did it work well?
Our in-person meetings work well for us. We found those are increasingly attractive to our members. We create spaces where they can, I think one of our recent innovations work very well is we have breakout sessions. We formerly had big plenaries with 120, 150 people, which were informative but not engaging. We now break out into smaller groups, and most of our members themselves have tremendous knowledge and experience that they're dying to share. And by put them in a small group, 10, 15 or 20 people, there's much greater willingness to participate, share that knowledge, and there's lots of gems to be collected and to take away.
So when you come to a meeting like this one, what do you take from it? Is it hearing other people's experience, even though they may not be in the same industry as you guys? How does it benefit you?
It's the same as our meetings. So there are plenary sessions where there are specific pieces of information you can take away and ideas, but they provide just the framework around which you can do that individual interaction. Sit with somebody at the table, have a discussion and say, that was interesting. What did you do about that? And that's what I'm very much hoping to get away from the next couple of days here.